Hello and welcome to my Keto Kitchen. I'm Victoria. Today I'm going to show you how to make a keto sourdough starter. So the video coming next is my keto sourdough bread recipe. And a regular sourdough bread is going to be actually heavier and more dense than the keto sourdough bread, which is kind of shocking. There is so much I could say. I need to just dive in, get started, show you how to do it, and then next week when my next video comes out, you will see the video on how to make the keto sourdough bread. So let's get started making the starter. It's early, I know. It's early and I haven't finished my coffee. I did do my Bible reading, that's done, but I still have not finished my coffee. So I'm spiritually ready for the day, but maybe not so much physically ready until I finish that cup of coffee. First things first, I have actually been working on the keto sourdough starter for about a year. I have done it so many ways. I've done it following a regular white flour recipe, following gluten-free recipes, using different yeast that you add, doing it without any yeast that you add, doing it with my different recipes. So here is the top notch, the best. I've waited a year before I created this video for you guys. So here is the top of the line, the best that I got. We are using my new standard keto flour 2.0. It just works the best. You can use this recipe and not use a store-bought yeast. I am using a store-bought yeast. I made this recipe without store-bought yeast, just by itself. I also made it with active dry yeast that's in my refrigerator. And without any yeast, it gets sour much faster. It does. If you want it really, really sour, then you don't need to add any yeast. But I had a friendship bread starter for several years given to me by a lady in her 80s that she got it when she was my age. This lady has had her sourdough starter for over 40 years. Okay, over 40 years. She has kept the same starter that was given to her as a young woman. That is amazing. Now, that bread actually won awards in Texas. It was that good. So, I had that before I went keto, before I started having a lot of seizures. I was using that weekly. I would make 2 loaves of bread every week. And I know the smell that I am familiar with when it comes to a starter. So when I made my own starter and I did not add any yeast, the smell was very, very sour, which for some, you may want that. You may want a very sour smell. However, I wanted that more sweet yeast smell that I was getting from my starter that I had had for a few years. So I was comparing it to experience. I started playing around with adding sourdough yeast into the starter. Now that it's all said and done and I have accomplished what I was looking for the last year to accomplish, my favorite was the San Francisco style sourdough, this little packet. I'll link this in the description box below. Do not feel like you have to use this, okay? This is what I'm using. I like the starters. I like adding the yeast into the starter. I feel like it gives you a certain smell if you're looking for a certain smell. So this is what I use for this starter. It worked beautifully and it is not over soured. It's not overly soured. It's just not too sour. If you don't use any yeast, you will get a very sour dough. And that might be what you want. You may want that very sour dough. The friend that I went to last week, hers was more sour and it was fantastic. So delicious. The friend of mine in her 80s that has one from a long time ago, hers is more sweet. I have a sweet tooth. I just like more sweet, a little less sour personally. So I want to tell you what your options are. You can buy your yeast starter, or you can use 1 teaspoon of active dry yeast that you just have in your fridge. Follow this recipe exactly. Or you can buy this one, or you don't need it at all. Just do it without any yeast, okay? So the yeast is optional. I use it because I just have a specific standard of smell that I want coming from my starter. Okay, so for real, we'll get started this time. So I have videoed each step that I'm going to tell you about. So I'll insert clips as I'm reading to you the instructions. So I have my instructions right here. Something else you need to know is I'm giving you times when to do it. You do it whatever time of the day. If you want to do it in the middle of the night, you do it. But I'm going to give you time starting at 8 a.m. if you want to do a starter. I'm going to give you a time because it's about every 4 hours that you're going to do something different on the first day. And I just want you to know that I put it down at times because for me it's easier. Okay, I know I'm doing something at 8, I'm going to do something at 12, I'm going to do something at 4, then I'm going to do something again at 8 o'clock. That day I know I need to be home every 4 hours at least because I have to work on my starter. So I'm going to tell you what to do. I'll be inserting clips along the way. I'm also going to have some coffee while I read this. Okay, day 1 of using your starter. At 8 a.m., take the 1 packet of starter or 1 teaspoon of your active dry yeast or nothing at all, plus 1 tablespoon of my new standard keto flour 2.0, 1 tablespoon of water. Mix those two together. Put a cap on your bowl, put a rag over it, just cover it, and set it aside for 4 hours. So 4 hours later would be 12 p.m. At noon, you will add 2 tablespoons of new standard keto flour 2.0, 2 tablespoons of water. You will mix it up, cover it again, and put it aside for 4 more hours. 4 hours after that, it will be 4 p.m. Add 1/4 of a cup of new standard keto flour 2.0, 1/4 of a cup of water. Stir it, cover it, and set it aside for 4 more hours. 4 hours later, it will be 8 p.m. At 8 p.m., you're going to add 1/2 of a cup of new standard keto flour 2.0, 1/2 of a cup of water. You're going to mix it well, cover it, and let it set again, but this time you're going to let it set for 12 hours. You're not going to do anything to it until 8 o'clock the next morning. Now, this is where it gets super simple. So at 8 o'clock the next morning, you're going to take out 1/2 of a cup of that starter. Take it out, set it aside. You're going to keep that 1/2 a cup. What is remaining in your bowl, just discard it. You can use it to make the bread recipe. However, it's not going to give you a sourdough taste because the taste is not there yet. The yeast is not matured. It's not multiplied enough. Take the bowl with the starter that's remaining, discard it, clean your bowl. You have to wash your bowl every day. When you refresh your starter, you need to wash your starter bowl. Get the starter bowl washed, dried, clean. Then add that 1/2 of a cup of starter that you had setting aside, add it back. And to that, you're going to add another 1/2 of a cup new standard keto flour 2.0, add it to the bowl. Add 1/2 of a cup of water. 1/2 of a cup of water, for those of you that are weighing the water in grams, it's about 115 grams. Mix it up, cover it again, set it aside, let it set for 24 hours. You're going to do this for 6 days. I'll insert some pictures here. You should, after about 3 days, begin to see little bubbles appearing in your sourdough starter. You should also begin to smell it. Once you take your covering off, smell it. After about 3 days, you should start to smell a sourdough smell. So this entire process is about 7 days. So the first day, you are adding to it slowly. The next day, you're refreshing it 1 time at 8 o'clock in the morning. And for 6 days, you're refreshing it at 8 o'clock in the morning. On day 7 of the entire process, what you're going to do is when you take out the 1/2 a cup and you set it aside, what is left in your bowl, that is good to go. You can use that for your bread. Go ahead and make the bread, do it, it'll be ready to go. And the 1/2 a cup that you set aside each time, you're going to add it back out into a clean bowl. You're going to add 1/2 of a cup of new standard keto flour 2.0, 1/2 of a cup of water, mix it up, set it on your counter, set it aside. So this needs to be refreshed once a day. I prefer to do it in the morning. If you don't want to refresh it every day, you can put it in your refrigerator. So what you'll do is you will refresh it in the morning, you will put it in your refrigerator, and the next week, 6 days later, you're gonna take it out the day before you want to use it. So if you put it in your refrigerator on Monday, the next week you need to take it out of the refrigerator on Sunday. Set it on the counter for at the very least 12 hours. You need to let it thaw, let the yeast get more active. It's better though at 24 hours. So if you put it in your refrigerator on Monday, the next Sunday morning you need to take it out and use it the next Monday morning. That's what I find I like the best. You may have a different preference. You can do whatever you want to do with this. I'm giving you what I do with it. Many of you may be experienced in starters. I can say that I do have experience with starters. I kept a starter in my home for at least 2 years. It was at least 2 years that I kept it going. We did it every week. And I did the refrigerator method. I would put it in my refrigerator and take it out the night before. I would do all the stuff and let it set on the counter and be ready to go for the next day. Same here. You don't take it right out of the fridge and try using it because the yeast are dormant. They're too cold. And for this video, I think that is everything. I am very excited for you to see the sourdough keto bread coming next week. I don't think I'll make my bread any other way anymore. The texture and the taste is just outstanding. I have never come close to it. I've never tasted anything that close to it. It's unique. I can say it's unique. I think of it as like a marshmallow bread. Like it is, you squish it and it comes right back. And you will see in the video coming next week how soft this bread is. It's pretty exciting. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's a blessing. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and you have a blessed day.